Hello and welcome back to V8 TechWorks. So today we are going to continue building our backend here, and in today's video we are going to continue looking at controller. Today we are going to build a controller for banner and also for users. So let's continue and let's get into the tutorial. But before that, make sure that you have subscribed to this YouTube channel and also like this video so that it may reach other people who are learning to code. Let's get into the tutorial now. Now, the first thing that we are going to do right now in this video is that to make sure that we actually are able to push our code. So let me open my GitHub here so that we push our code. So let me open it here, and you can make sure that you follow my GitHub so that you can see other projects that I'm going to build in future. So here I'm going to open this part here, this terminal, and this terminal already we have opened the project that we are calling commerce beauty store. So here I want to look at the branches that we have because we are already in previous video we had already created the backend here. So if you haven't watched also those other videos, make sure that you go back and watch those so that you understand what you are doing right now. So here you can see we have this a branch that is called backend, and this is because we are working on our backend right now. So I'm going to add the changes that I have made. Let me commit here. So I'm going to add here like here worked. Let me comment something like worked on product model and controller, something of the sort. You can comment what you want, and you can see here it is a command that is git commit -m, and then you can specify the comment that you want inside this quotation mark. So I'm going to actually comment like that, and then I'm going to use this command git push origin, but right now I don't want to. I'm going to push backend branch here because that is what we are working on. So let me push it like that. So let me also make sure that I add my passphrase to be able to push my code to GitHub. So like that, you can see that we have pushed our code, and then I'm going to come here to repository, and then when I open this store here, beauty store, you can be able to see that we are going to have a pull request. So this is a compare and pull request notification. You can see it is 13 seconds. So I'm going to create a pull request here. And then after that, let's see. So you can see here it is checking for ability to merge automatically. And at the end of that, we are going to merge and then confirm merge. So this is, you can see here it is now merged, and we can go back to now insights here, and under insights you can go to network and see how we are building our application. So you can see here we created a branch and we merged. We also came here and also made sure that we merged our backend branch with our master branch, which is our main branch. So let's go back into our code now, and inside here in our controller I'm going to create a banner dot controller .js file right here, and I'm going to import the banner model from. Now we are going to get from now the model. So here we have the models, and then we need to get the banner model. Then we need to specify the extension, which is .js. Another thing is I want to import async handler. So here we are going to have async handler. Let me call it async handler, and this one is coming from express async handler. You can be able to see it here. So I'm going to now create other functions. So for example, the function that you are going to have here is to create a banner, and here we can have a const create banner function. So this one is we are going to have it as an arrow function, but we need to wrap it using async handler. So also we are going to have async inside here, and this is an arrow function like that. So inside here we have request, and also we have response. So inside here we need first of all to get the data. So I'm going to create a new banner, and this is a new banner here. Then we are going to specify the banner here, and then you are going to pass in the request.body here, like that. And then after this one, we are going to save it. So we are going to have saved banner. So saved banner here is we are going to take new banner, and we are going to use save function, like that. So also we are going to check now if we have saved banner. So if we don't have saved banner, that means that it has not been saved in our database. Then we need to throw an error. So here we can use res.status. Already now you know how we are using our custom error. And then again here we can now throw a new error here, and we can now specify even the message here. So we can say banner was not created, like that, because this is the error that we want to push or to our front end if banner was not created successfully. So here we can also, if it has been saved, then we need to send it to our front end. So let's do status. Here we can be able to add 200, like that, and then here we can say JSON, and here we can say saved. This is saved banner. So after it has been saved, can pushed to our front end. So I want to push this a little bit down so that we can have a space where we are working in. So I'm going to format this here, and you can say now this we have at least one function here. I think I can hide this part here because we don't need it right now. So here another function that you are going to have is to delete. You are going to delete banner. This is also a function that we need. So here I'm going to say const and then delete banner. Like here, this is async handler. We are going to wrap it, and then async inside here, which we having request, and then the response. And then inside here now we can have different things. So here we are going to have banner after it has been deleted. So we are going to use await banner, and then you can use find by ID. So find by ID and delete. This is the function of the MongoDB. So find by ID and delete, and then here we need to pass in the ID because we need to know which banner to delete. So this one we are going to pass it through request.params and then ID. So I'm going to check if I have banner right here, and we can see if we have banner we can do various things. So if we have banner, then here we can do various things. So let me first of all say if we don't have banner, then I think that's when we need to throw an error. So here I'm going to use rest.status, like that, and then this one we are going to have as 400 status code, and then here we can say you can throw an error. So throw new error, and then we are going to say banner was not deleted, like that. And then after that, here we can send the message, success message, if it was deleted. So rest.status, we can say 201, and then .json. Here we can say something like banner was deleted successfully, like that. And then I think what else? So I'm going to format my code right here, and then we can have another function here, and this one is to get all banners. So get all banners, like that, and then we can call this function also get all banners, like that. So get all banners, and which we are going to wrap it using async handler. So using async here also, this one will be request response, and then here we can have the logic or the functionality. So here we are going to first of all get all banners, and this we are going to get it using banner, and then this one will be .find, and here is just a banner.find, and we can find every thing that we want. So here we need also to make sure that we reverse, or we can just leave it like that. And then here we need also to add a wait, because it will take some time that we don't know in future. So that in also we need to check if we don't have banners. So if we don't have banners, then we need to throw an error. If we else, then we need to make sure that we send those banners. So let's dot status here, and then here we can say 200.json. This means that is successful. Then we can send the banners to the front end. Here, if we don't have banners, here we need to throw an error. So this one will be res.status. Then this one will be 400, and then we can have .json here, and then we can have actually here we can just throw an error as we are doing in the other video. So here we can draw error, and then here we can be able to say something like something went wrong, or banner, or okay, we can say banners were not fetched, or something went wrong, went wrong. So you can specify the message. And the other thing that I want to add here is another function that we are going to call this function. Let's see, we can get one banner, or get random banner, that is. So this one is because we need to pass, or in our front end we need to show a random banner. When the user refreshes the homepage, then we can display a random banner from our database. So to get that random banner, let's create that function here. So get random banner. So we are going to have const and then get random banner as a function. So this one we are going to have a sync handler, this one here, and then here we can have a sync. Here we have request and then response. Here we are going to have now the logic. So the first thing that I need to have is to fetch all the banners. So get the banners like that, and here we can say await, like here we can use find, right, like that. So we can have that banner, and then here we can say if there's no banner, then, or there's no banners here, we can draw an error. So we can say res.status, and then here we can say something like 400, and we can draw error here. So, and we can just use this error here like that. Let's paste it here, and then this one we can just say here throw new error. So throw new error, and else, that means that we have now successfully fetched the banners. Then we need to make sure that we get the random banner. So we can just say const and then random banner, or random index. So let's use a random index. So we are going to use a math here package, and then we are going to use a flow function, and inside here we can say we can use math.random. So you can see we have this function called random, and then we need to actually make sure that we multiply with banners .length here like that. So that means that it will take it will just make sure that it takes the random index from anything from all your banners from the length. Let's say we have like 5 banners in our database, then it will multiply this math random times the 6 banners that you have in database. So here we are going to now get the random banner using okay, here is a random banner. So random banner, and we are going to get it using banners, and then now we can pass in now the random index. So the random index like that, we get now the random banner, and then we can now send that banner. So the resters here, you can have this is 200 and then .json, and then we can pass in, we can just send now the random banner right here like that. So we need to export all of these functions. So let me just format this, and here we can be able to export and different we can be able to export different functions, these functions here. So this one is create banner. We are going to have another one that is delete banner, and then we can have get random banner like that. So we need now to create a routes for my banner. So I'm going to come here and create a banner dot route .js like that, and then already you know what we do here is to specify the route. So the first thing that you need to do is to import express like that, and we are going to import express from. So then we need also to import the functions from. Actually, let me first of all create a router. So const, you can create a router here, and the router is from express dot router function like that, and then we are going to export by default. So export default, and what we are actually exporting is router like that. Here we can have now to import the functions from now our banner controller. So import, and we are going to import it from. So we can go to controller, and we go to also, actually here we can go to banners like that, and then we need to specify JS here. So here we need to get create banner. You can have get all banners, and then get random banner. And the other thing we can have here is we can get all, I think, delete banner. So yeah, like that. So here I can now specify the routes. So let's come here, and this will be quick. So here we need to have create banner route like that, and here we can have router dot, this one will be just dot post, this will be just a default route. Here we are going to have create banner like that, and then after that we can have get all banners like that. This is get all banners. We are going to have router dot get, and then this is a default here, and then we can have get all banners. After that we can have now delete banner route like that. So this one also I can just add here route, and here we can continue to router and delete. Here we need to pass in like an ID. So this one we are going to have an ID here, and we can specify this one is a delete banner. So the last one here will be random. So we are going to have here get a random banner, get random banner route like that, and then here we can say router and and then this one will be just get, but this one we are going to specify a route called random, and then here we are going to say get random banner. So get random banner like that. And then here I want to make sure that I format my code. Now I need to register this route here. So we can copy this, paste it here. I want to remove this because it's not we need to add here a banner route, and then this one will be just banners like that. And then let's import up here. So copy that and import. This one will be banner route, and here we need to specify the same. So routes, and then out banner. So route like that, JS, and then here we can now specify banner route like that. So that is it. I think now we can continue to users so that we finish this. So here in our controller here, we need to create a user controller. So user controller, and then this one is JS like that. And then here we can have different, let me close this and this one. So here we can be having a different function for controller for the user. So I'm going to import first of all. So import user model. So import user from, now we are going to import from the models, and here we are going to get it from user model, and then you need to specify JS there. So the other thing that you need to import is async handler. So async handler like that from, now this one is from express async handler. And the other thing that you need to import here is you need to import bycrypt, and I'm going to show you why. So bycrypt, and this is from bycrypt. You can be able to see this bycrypt.js there, and then here we can start creating function. So create here, or we can have update user. First of all, update user like that, and here to update the user, we can have function called update user. So this one is when the user will be able to update their information. So here we can just have a sync handler that is wrapping the function. By now you already know what you are doing right here. So here I can just go fast like that, and then we can have it like that. Now the logic start here. So here I need first of all to check if in a request.body we have password, because if we have password, that means that user want to update the password. So here I'm going to check if we have password, then I need to encrypt. The password. So I'm going to create the salt first of all, and I'm going to await here, use bycrypt, and then can generate salt using gen salt, and we can specify the number of rounds. So here we are going to now encrypt the password. So I'm going to say request.body and then .password. We need to encrypt it before we update it. So we are going to say request.body.password. Then we are going to assign it to encrypted password already. So we are going to have encrypt.hash, and then here we are going to have request.body and then .password, and then we can specify the salt now that is used to encrypt my password. So after that, now I can be able to, so if the password is here, then we can do that, and after that now we can be able to update the information. So here I'm going to say updated user like that. We are going to actually have to await, and then we can say user dot find by ID. By ID, let me just specify here, update by ID and update like that. And then here we can specify things. For example, we are going to specify the request.params and then ID, that is the ID that you need to pass. Also here we can have several options like set, and this we are going to set now request.body, and the other thing is the new, and we need to make sure that is true like that. And then here we are going to have an updated user, so we need to make sure if the user is updated, so that if the user is not updated, we can throw error. So here if we don't have updated user, then what we can do is to have rest or status, and then here it will be a status code of 400, and then we can throw error, so throw new error, and then here we can say user was not updated like that, and else. So here we have else, then we need to actually this is I have misspelled, so this is else like that. So then we need to send that updated user. So there's the status, we can say this is 2 or 1 status, and then we can say .json, and then we can send the updated user like that. You can see this is updated user, not update user. So this one also, it is updated user like that. And the other thing that I noticed before we continue is that you can call this folder, for example, this one is controllers, and also this one is because you can see others are routes, and it should be controllers, not controller. So you can update that on your end. So here we are going to have another function, and this function is delete user, and this work will be the work of admin. So delete user, here we are going to create that function. So delete user, and here we can have a sync handler to wrap my function. So, and then here I can have a sync, and then here we are going to pass in the request and response. After that, now inside here for the delete user, we can have const deleted user, like here deleted user. We are going to have to await user, and then find by ID, and not update but now delete like that. And then we are going to pass in the request.params and then the ID. And now here what we are going to do right here is to check if there is any deleted user. If we have deleted user, so deleted user like that. And if we have deleted user, if we don't have the deleted user, then we can throw an error. So this one will be 400. Here we can have for example also we can draw a new error like that, and here we can just say user was not deleted successfully like that. And else, here that means that we have deleted the user successfully. We can draw an error successful message. So we can say res.status, and this one I'm going to have it as 201 status code, and then we can say .json, and then this one we are going to say user was deleted successfully like that. And I think that's okay now. The other thing that I want to add here after deleted user is get user, just get one user. So this one will be get one user like that. and in here I can just say const and then get one, or just let me call it get user, like that. And then this we can wrap it in a sync handler, and then this one is async. Here we are going to have request and response, and here we are going to have now, like, we are going to have users. First of all, get that user, and we are going to get that user using a function here. So get user, and then I can say await, and then we can say user dot find by id, and find by id, and it's just find by id, and then you can pass in the request dot params and then the id, like that. And then after that we can say if the user was not found, so you can say if not user here, what we can do is to throw new error. So what we are going to do here is to set the rest.status here to be 400, and also you can throw new error, and then here we can say something like user was not found, like that. And after that, here we can say else. So else, here we can say we can send that user, that is, so rest.status, this one is 200, and then you can say .json, and then we can send the user, so like that. And now the other thing that we need to do is to actually the last function. We need to have the last function, which is get all users, like here. So get all users, and here we are going to have a function called get all users, like that. We are going to have a sync handler, like that. I'm going to have a sync, and then this one is request response, and here we can have now the logic. So for the logic here, first of all, we are going to have users, and we are going to use user.find here, like that. And then I'm going to await, so await here. And then the other thing that I'm going to do here is to check if we don't have the users, then that means we can throw an error. So rest.status, you can use different error status. So this is not the only status code that you can use for error. There are so many, so you can use different one. Right now it's just because I don't have a lot of time to show you all the status code. So here I'm going to throw new error, and I can say something like users were not fetched, like that. And also right here I can say else, and else then we can say here something like we can send now the status, our users, to our front end. So the JSON, we can send them users, like that. So we need to export, this is users, we need to export them now. So I'm going to come here and export. So my functions here, so get all users, we can get user, we can delete user, and we can update user. So that is the function that I have right here. So I need to create that route. So I'm going to copy these functions here. So copy that, and I'm going to add a semicolon here. So for my routes, I'm going to create a user dot route, and then this one is .js right here, and I'm going to import, first of all, express. So import express from express, like that. And then another thing that I need to do here is to create a router. So router, and we are going to create router from express dot router, express dot router here, like that. And then I can say export default, and then we can export router, just like that. So another thing is you can be able to import all those functions. So we import these functions, and we are going to import them from controller, so here, and then we are going to get them from the user controller JS, like that. So we need to add that here, and now we can have my routes. So I can say get all users route, and here we can say router dot get. Here this will be a default one, and we can get odd users, like that. So another thing is we can delete user. So delete user route, and here we can say router and dot delete. Here we are going to have to pass in the ID, and then you can say delete user, like that. We are going to have another route here, so which is update user, and this one we can say router dot put, and this way we can add even the ID, and then also this we can have the ID, and then we can say update user, like that. And the last one is get user. So this one we are going to say, actually this one, let me make sure that is uniform. So I'm going to say update user route, and the other one here is we are going to have get. So let me capitalize them, get one user. And here what we can say is that get one user, and this one will be just router, and then we can say get, but this time we can use find, like that, and we need to pass in the ID. So pass in the ID here, or we can say user ID, so that we can get that one user. Then this one we can have get user, like that. And this one is route, so let me add it, route as route. I want to register this route in my app.js here, so I'm going to copy this and then paste down here. This one will be users, so here we can be users, and up here also what we can do is we can copy this and paste it, and this one will be just a user, and then let's say route, but this time also we need to specify here user. This one will be from user route, and then JS. Yes, so now that is it. We have finished looking at two controllers for banner and for users. So now the other thing that I want to do is to push my code again. So I'm going to git add everything, and then I'm going to commit. So git commit and the -m. Here you can say added user and banner, let me banner controllers, like that. And then after that we can git push. So git push origin, and then it is backend, like that. And then Now we can push, we can add the passphrase, and then we push. So if I come back to my GitHub here, so let me come to the GitHub, and in my beauty store here repo, you'll be able to see another, like a notification. And right now we don't have that notification, but no worries, we are going to proceed in the other video. And remember also to like this video and also subscribe and turn on the notification bell. So see you on the other video. Have a great day.